Great. I should be throwing Melbourne into the mix here as well. When I just said, yes, here it comes, Addy. We got a big batch coming to you guys, and they did some editing of the radar feed, I've noticed. If I put on the 12-hour here and I come over to Sedona, you're not going to see too much going past, right? But earlier, I busted the next red here at big time beaming. So we've had an alteration of the image over here. Okay, so let me show you what I caught. And it was bad, right? The first thing I got to say is they say these are glitches, right? These things here. When you see these lines, they all point right here at the Mount Gambier NextRad radar station. It's right there where the confluence of all these lines are. And it's not just one frame, right? Not just one. And this was, 5 hours ago. It should be on that feed, but it is not. It is not. Wendy has decided, after I showed my screenshot, I must say, I had to take that down because that would have been about 7 hours ago from now because it took me a few hours to load screens. And so that should be this image here, right in here. And as you can see, it has been altered. It has been censored. You have been played. Yeah, so this is the really, well, oops, I accidentally called somebody. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I have to send them an oops. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I've actually gone live. I've been having trouble lately getting my connect to connect. Okay, yes, it is. So, we know they've altered the image, right? So you guys don't know what's going to happen. You don't get accurate weather. And that in itself is a crime, would you say? When an absolute crime. You have these beams here. See, it's a little bit different. The rays coming in. And what it did is created a flow that made a corridor of resistance here that the moisture came straight on in along this line here. Straight toward Adelaide and Melbourne. And then I got another shot of the glitch actually affecting the clouds. If you look here at this image that I'm going to show you, you see these lines like spokes on a wheel pointing at a hub. And at the hub is what, oh, yeah, I spelled that wrong. The wicked glitch, thou wicked glitch, is really NextRad beams. It is. These are NextRad beams. I have to correct that. It's embarrassing. It's hard for me to see sometimes when I'm typing things. And today my hands are not cooperating. My goodness, look at the waveforms come through here. Boom, boom, almost like a pulse pattern. Look at this Nazified symbol out at sea from the Pluminazis, releasing all these plumes over the top of you. Big square out there. This is definitely a man-made flash flood for this area here, and it's going to affect the city center. Fairly along this line of chemtrails right here. So we will go through that. Because, when they tell you it's a glitch, but it really affects the weather, and you got these radar rays just lining straight up with the Mount Gambier station, it doesn't take long to do basic coordinate things with strings, Triangulation is 3 points. Well, angulation, if you will. So let's have a look at what's about to happen. And there's some cells right now that just gone through Waipanga. They went through a little early. So we're going to have a good look at what's about to smack your asses. And we know they're hiding the image. Why I'm even showing this one is just fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It'd be better to go to the satellite and have a look at the infrared to see what any high tops, and there's not. So we don't have any supercell type stuff, so I'm not expecting any tornadic conditions. I am expecting some winds when I see EMF like this through these mountain areas. The corridor of flow looks to be like an eyebrow shape coming right through here is where you're going to get your heaviest action, right through here. I can read this EMF like a hawk. Yep. And it's pushing towards the east, the beamforms themselves. You're going to have some big action around here. And the coast of Tassie is going to bear the brunt. And then the storm is going to march on over from here. A low is going to form right here down near where this square is. Exactly right here. And it's going to gather all this squares of chem and bring it over to Grace, New Zealand with about another 20 centimeters to 17 centimeters between the Nelson and Takaka Collingwood areas. Yeah, you're getting it again. What a fucking shame. What a fucking shame. So, let's roll the forecast part of this, and I'm trying not to take too much time. I'm in a lot of trouble with my hands today. I had a very bad night, very painful night with my elbow. So here it comes, Addy. The setup is there. The path of resistance is like where this hand is being left, the cursor on the screen. Just that's the area of perturbation. The angle of where the going towards the pinky is nearly the flow line of what that radar did, and so it's fair accurate. You add about a 2 o'clock position to that pinky, and you'll be the flow line. And then Adelaide's going to cap it right about mid afternoon, lunchtime, between lunchtime and mid afternoon. I can't know your no actually you got 3 hour, 2.5 hour difference there from the other coast. So I got it. Yeah, that'll give you about 1:30 in the afternoon. It's when the main thunder and lightning will come through. Because today I'm not expecting much tornadic activity. But tornadic activity, by the way, is highly electrical phenomena. Because tornado is an electrical phenomena, and the winds are a byproduct of the vortices of electricity. So you got things like hail, damaging winds, downburst, funnel clouds. I'm not expecting because I don't see the right winds or heat to naturally do it, and I don't see the geoengineering being done to reproduce that effect. There's some very cold air coming out in toward the desert regions coming this week that bears knowing about. You will have a little bit of fire when it hits about 8 degrees here, and your highs during the day might only be 15 and 16 out in some of these desert regions of northern territories in Western Australia. So bear that in mind if you're camping. Get some fire back. I don't know. Yeah, they shut the internet off briefly. Sorry for that delay. Probably lost the live viewers, but the forecast will continue. So let's continue. I had a big interruption where I actually had to disconnect the internet and rehook it. Yeah, it's been working fine all morning. Yeah, I'm the only one on this connection. I don't know why. While this is running in a second, I'm going to have a look at something back here in my modem. Something ain't right. I should never do that. Let's see. That should help. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Yeah, it's when you're a targeted individual using our oppressor's tool to try to oppress them back, I guarantee you they're going to make a move to press back further. And cutting my connection, it seems to be happening a lot, only while I'm going live. So here you go, New Zealand. You need to watch this. And this one here is going to be a smack, and you're going to get a belt of water. It's quite a setup that made this happen. I'm watching it very closely. And as I see new EMF moves, I'll show you guys. The big pulse came down the Tasman Sea, and it panned actually from east to west. It kind of did like a bumper move where you'd be like, imagine playing Pong, and you bump. And if you can play Pong by yourself, and you can time where the paddles will do it, you get a good straight lines. Now curve one and sling it out there. Or how different kinds of squeegees work. You ever use squeegees on a wet floor? What works better, the one with the angles on the end or the one that's straight? Because one creates two curls around the outside of itself as it pushes, vortices, eddies, and the other one will direct water in a big blast. So it's kind of when you see those eyebrow beams, it's like having a bent squeegee. And when you see the straight one, just the other kind. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So where the beams end, you end up as they weaken, you end up with these eddy effects happening. And the center has the bigger push. Yeah, there's a big bit of action there coming to the Can't Bear It area. You know, welcome to the House of Bombs, it's the governance. Welcome to the Liar's Den. Vote for me again. Welcome to the House of Bombs. Have a little snow action there for you, Can't Bear It, coming here on Tuesday, overnight hours. And through late Monday. Yeah. That's you need to know if you're going to have some firewood and wintry mix over the next 24 hours. Absolutely to be expected. Absolutely to be expected. Why? Could you say cloud seeding over ski resorts? Or you don't think snowmaking machine is a weather making machine? And they've been around for years. Get your head around it. It's just hidden. And a glitch that affects cloud dynamics is not a glitch. It's a fucking weather machine. Get it through your heads. Next-rad radars can be used as weather machines. Period. That is all. You can call me full retard, say I wear a tinfoil motherfucking hat. And I'll correct you, say most tinfoil ain't got no tin in it. And I'll say, sure, what size? Can you make me one? Can I have mine look really cool? Yeah, like a musketeer's hat with a big feather in it. Silver one. Hi-oh, silver. At least we didn't do the thing. You know, so there will be someone who'll take care of you or dig the graves. I don't know which. Watch this here. Right. Penis insula. You are going to get an absolute clobbered. It's going to last about an hour and a half, and it's going to dump a shitload of rain on you real fast. And it's going to come at mid-afternoon hours of Friday. Yep, then she's going to go right over the Bay of Plenty of Chem, right over the middle, and skirt north of the volcano field, which always pins flow totals up toward the thumb. And I didn't neglect you, Richmond Nelson. You get the batch. You get the turn. You get where they back up all the chem on the EMF lines, where all the condensates collided and became big enough to fall. And it's going to lead to what I call the terrible totals. Yeah, and I'm not going to go too much further past this date here. Yeah, your terrible totals for this event are not pleasant to report at all. This is conservative. That ain't right. It's way too low. I'm thinking 20 centimeters for you there. And this here is about right. This should be about 17 along in there. I just see if any of them are being honest. Because when they lie about the beams after I already screenshot them, it makes it kind of obvious to say that the censorship's going on. For people that say that if you don't want traffic cameras on your street, look what I'm saying, 20, 17 centimeters, not inches. Yeah, you're mighty wet, old Plymouth over here. A Plymouth and put it into geoengineering would be nice. Now, your totals around here are going to be quite high, Addy. And they're coming fast. So I'm expecting flash flooding in the city centers. Make sure the drains are clean. Get your stock up in the air. I'm going to run about knee deep. I'm telling you. I can see something coming. You ain't been told. That's too low. And I'm being honest. This is too low. I said 5, didn't I? 4.5 to 5. You see how they play with the sticks? They show you one thing and give you another, man. I'm telling you, I hate lying. I'm not changing what I said. Here it comes, Addy. I gave you guys a good screenshot, so let's see if we can pick one of them up. I don't think I have this one down here. I should have loaded this ahead of time. Here we go. This is what was on the screen before they lied. Yeah. And I'm expecting that to be a city center event. So treat it accordingly. There's a lot of low-lying areas near the railroad tracks and places like that. Pick your stuff up. Get it above. Get your bunch of cinder blocks. Put your couch on it. Watch grandma's furniture. Get your paperwork in order. Or fuck off for a little while. Ice, water, toilet paper. You don't need that much damn toilet paper. When there's a flash flood, you hang your bum out the window and just let the water lick it clean. And you just need something to dry off with. Yeah, some decent totals coming. And for some of the mountain areas just there to the west of Jin. What the heck is that? Jinbine. I don't know. Threado. Yo, thread ball. Yeah, that's a cool word. Yeah, you're my ball. Yo, thread ball. Where you going? The guy over there knew how to thread a bow, I guess. And he pulled his bow across the street and it made an evil hiss. And then they released a bunch of Kanban. The skies looked like this. Boom. That's just over that area down there. Look at the shit they put out. Absolute poisons, guys. Absolutely Morganellish. Absolutely disgusting. And absolutely the wicked glitch over here is pointing at the next rad station. You ain't making this up. Tell them to stop lying and teach science so somebody can advance science. You tell somebody something can't do something that it's doing, it's because you're hiding your fucking guilt. You land-grabbing bastards. Bunch of fucking cunts. If you don't like me using that word, wait, start to understand my fucking people with Tourette's, you fucking cunts. Tired of the abuse I get over there. Well, you asked me to mollycoddle your children's bad behavior because you was the terrible parent that didn't set limits. My dog. Look at this pulse. You see how it's slowly pushing out to sea in a wave? It's holding that mountain. It's like moving a mountain. That's exactly the move they're doing. So slowly allowing this to go out to sea, slowly letting it catch this chem, slowly letting it funnel into the center of this circle circulation out here. Pow, pow. How many directions ought to win? I mean, really, look at this. One shot this way and one shot that way. Yep. Ba-boom, ba-boom, plumes. That looked like a big spunk. Headed right for that in vitro clinic in Marlboro. Look at all these boom boom plumes, like right here. See where they disappeared? Watch that. Watch these dots. Bastard. Watch right where I was showing you. Boom, boom, boom went the plumes, and away went your eardrums if I did it too loud. Boom, boom, plumes out there outside. They almost like they went full Hitler, and they wouldn't. Yep. The Nutsifarians. Ooh, boogeyman. That's a chem. See the square right there in the center? And the blown out spots around it? These are not round supercells. These are very, very devilish thing that's going on. This is very, very, very bad for my earth. And this is terrible for my ocean. You told me you're bleaching the reef, but yet I see deployments of acid, and acid and coral don't get along too well. I don't see none of this silver iodide mentioned in that documents I show you. Look at all the chem here, clouding you out. Absolutely choking you. Choke, 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 choke. Yep. Ozzy, oi, fucking vey. My God, look at this crap here. You don't tell me this is natural weather. You just start to sound like an uneducated idiot when you say that. Let's go to some daylight shot here. And this was at about 2:50 a.m. my time. Takes me hours and hours to do this. Something came along in the line and deployed, and then further things went from the side of that. Look at this. Look at that. It's only a Bill Gates logo, right? It's If you're advertising in the sky like that's illegal. That don't look very healthy off the coast here. What is this? Somebody carving a pumpkin? More like the headless horseman come to town. My God, this is so fucking swasticular. What did they write? Zoso? Is there a Zeppelin concert going on here? The devil, the devil, the devil. You guys talk about the end times and you don't see it when it's in your face. If it was a brick, you wouldn't see it. You're waiting for something to be revealed. You yourself have to reveal. Here's your revelation for today. God, this is disgusting to see. I'm going to have to just run this. You ought to see the worldview. Oh my God, it is so bad. So I took you your weather enough days, didn't I? Did I tell you was fucked yet? Did I show you the temps? No. Yeah, I'm getting upset, and so my mind is going 100 miles an hour. Hey, desert, and this is going to fuel wind. I got to show you this. I'm going to let this run a second. When you start seeing these pockets of blue, that's when I start worrying about bad weather and wind, like that. Right in here. Look at the cold hit Warburton. 2 degrees showing in the town. 1, and that's an overnight temp. And that one there would be at about it's sunrise time. It's a cold fucking day, man. It's a cold day. Hot up here, cold down there. Wind's gonna go along here. Yep. So not very many safe roads without wind going across the country that day, that's for sure. But you're going to need some firewood at night. This pocket's going to go well far north. It's wintertime, man. Hey, Alice, it's kind of funny how there's like a crisscross around you of cold. What are you deploying a catalyst that gets cold? Or are you using a laser to slow molecules down? Because that'll make it cold too. Yeah, you can use a laser to make things cold. It ain't all about heat. You got to think about things as motion, resonance. And you'll start to understand the universe. Maybe you'll understand yourself better, how you resonate. is going to attract sometimes sticky resin. Who knows? There we go. Now we're getting into the cold. Now these troughs have hit all the way inland. And you need to know about these things. And this is about sunrise. The sunrise is always an evaporation, which is a cooling process. Just write that down. So every at dawn you'll always get a little something, a little pocket of cold, but yeah, that's very cold. That's below zero. So watch out for slippery areas and the shady areas on the roads when you're driving in the mornings. I don't want to hear about no idiots wrecking. I don't want to hear about smart people wrecking. I want to hear all about idiots wrecking. I reckon I do. Hey, New Zealand, mighty nipply. Show me your nippliness. Yeah, let me see your winter wonderland when it snows. I didn't mean it like the other. Not that I mind. Sometimes I do. Ever heard somebody say, send me a picture of your pussy, and they send their own profile picture back? Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, that to me is amusing. Hey, you don't like my humor? That's okay. I didn't ask you. I got to show you the accumulations of some of the... this is your wind gusts, and I want to show you the new snows. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Whammo. Hi, Southland. Still winter. Yeah, you ain't going nowhere. Yeah, that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit. I almost should put that on in feet for you. Yeah, that's over a yard. There's about 4 feet of snow in some of them areas there. And fresh powder up in the mountains there, just near that hard to pronounce name. I got Kemba, know the fuck yeah, you. Yeah, you again, you got about 3 feet of snow coming. A meter. I know what a meter is. I know what a centimeter is. Oh my. And I know what fact is versus hopium happening. The next person tells me I need to do my research to know what's going on, you're fired. Yeah, I gotta make room for people that critically think and remember what the word logical was versus illogical, and remembers their grandfather's name before they go out spouting lies on my wall. And I will point that out. I don't go on your wall correcting you. When you come spouting lies on my wall, I'll correct you as publicly as you spouted the lies. You don't see the radar beam coming through here, Cassie? Look, look, look. That's a fresh bust. Look, 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 look. This is a slam bust. Oops, I did it wrong. This is a bust. I didn't have this image a little earlier. This is from 6 minutes ago. So this is a very current glitch. Very, very current glitch. So let's mark it. This is how I'm doing it. I get this line thing here, and I can come over here and decide, do I want it translucent or not? I want it fair translucent. I gotta take it down to about 25-30%. Then I can choose outlines, inlines. I'm gonna do red. And I just go down one of the gaps and just point it. It ain't that hard to do. It's not that visible, that one. It's still, you can still see the beam underneath it. Right? I'm just taking and drawing lines down the line. And they're intersecting at known radar stations, right? Where these lines intersect, right there where the X marks the spot there's going to be an X-rad. There has to be. Because all the signatures in the clouds are telling me that. Right there. And you can even do that while you got it down. See right there? There's your beam. It's coming from right there at that next rad station. And you'll have a radar on the hill there, looking like a golf ball on a tee, I'll guarantee. And it's a radar beam. You know one here. I just didn't mark them all. You see way out here coming in, same spot. And it'll have an effect on the clouds. It always does. And if that's from an hour ago, I'll have an image of that. I should be, oh no, it would take a little bit. I'd have to reload all of this to get that. I'm not doing it. Yes, I am. Give this a moment. It'll be on there. Watch. It'll be dark though. See if we can catch you. This will be just the last image is all I want. I'm not going to let it run. And see if we can find the exact location of this next red radar. Oh, it's definitely blown out the clouds. There's no doubt about that. So let's see if we can mark some lines here. Yeah, I'll do that thing I do. Right, let's mark the next red. He's plain as fucking day, man. You ain't making this up. The glitch is coming down at an angle like this. Excuse me. Let's do this. Where's Mr. Squiggles? I will in a bit invite you to participate in my GoFundMe. If I don't pay my rent in the next 3 days, I'm out of my ass. And I only need 200 pounds. I've almost got it. Right, you see these lines? Like that. This. That. Those are flow lines. Okay? It's not the beam swag. The beams are coming from here. Right from there. Because you can see the condensation, how it changes. How it changed through there. There's a line in the clouds. Right here. Then the next rad did that. And it shows it's being used as a weather modification tool. So when they say a glitch, it's another word for, I guess, for a beam. Yep. A big eyebrow beam there. Right? That's the squeegee. And if it's pushing that direction, it pushes all that moisture that way. If it pushes this way, that curved edge will gently roll the moisture off its sides. It doesn't create a dramatic eddy because they don't want to create a low here when they need it here. Okay, so this is how you got to look at the beams a little differently sometimes as passive resistance. And I do invite you to participate in this. Because, you know, it does cost quite a bit of time and money. And until my work starts, oops, it's not doing what I want. Until my work starts, and then even then they hold back time, I'm going to need help, and then I'm going to do this all myself. And thank you guys for participating in it, without abusing me too bad. I do get a lot of abuse when I ask for help, but this is a voluntary thing. I don't make you pay, $5 a month to access a special area to get this. You get this because you need the info. And some people are too poor, and I'm okay with that. Higgins get 50 pounds of everybody. And sometimes there's a week's access would be 10 pounds for some people, $10 just to hear their update. And then it's not even about geoengineering. It's a bunch of lies, and half the time they'll update right after me. So they steal my forecast and make money off it. Well, I get the bones in my ass, and the people with vested interests and the thieves, and they like to use people, steal my work and charge money. See, something's right here where the middle finger is. You see these lines of perturbation? You don't hide radar glitches from me. And taking data down like they did earlier. Well, I already got it that I showed you earlier. I'm not going to pull that back up. He's an absolute lion-ass child that needs to go to his room. Yeah, and in my case, it would have gone differently. The world looked terrible today. Somebody's supposed to be the hero of the world ending chemtrails. Well, I'll tell you, this is U.S. international waters here, but this isn't. 25 miles off the coast is about here, where these chemtrails are, off the coast of Maine. So chemtrails are still going on in U.S. airspace. Don't tell me they've ended. So there's a bunch of liars in our community that are telling you lies, because it's still going on. It's Florida. It's July. What do I see? I see geoengineering right here off the coast of Florida. Arrest them. These are chem bombs. Those are not clean white clouds. This is geoengineering. This is geoengineering off the coast coming into Florida. These are the Gulf of America. He had to rename that because he's such a fucking conceited, pride-filled bastard. And a Jewish star drawn over the taste. You can't make this up. They didn't just sacrifice people here on this, I don't know anything anymore sometimes. Because look at this. Where's Mr. Squiggles? I got to draw something there. This is now ticked me off. This is so obvious. It's so obvious. The Zionized storm. What we got here? All right, let's really go dramatic. Let's just do this full on. Yeah, we want that one, don't we? What is the shape of this storm? What is going on here? I'm telling you. Stripe of EMF here, stripe of EMF here. Land grab. Donald's friends have come to town. Fucking hell. This is just horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. You know I gotta have that. And I notice these things. You know, you don't notice some things, but you notice others. You notice things. You notice things. I notice things. I'm noticing something. Really? Can you do? Can you not making this up? Not making this up. That's Florida. Your precious Donald Trump's gonna save Florida. He's got a big swastika over it. It's a giant swastika here in the sky over the United States of communist areas. I don't know what else to say about this. Can you say the Nazified skies? Do you see the skies? You can't disguise your lies. This one's even worse. It's like they've left a gap. Nazified skies, Zionized skies. Ay, 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 ay. All I see is a bunch of skyarea off the coast of where we at here, Charleston, South Carolina. Look at chemtrail, 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 chembomb, chembomb over the United States of America. Or your hero Donald Trump, who I see as a groping pedophile who Epstein got off out of jail while it somehow hung himself while he on his watch. And Ghislaine Maxwell, his buddy there, nobody's gotten anybody else gotten in trouble with her, huh? Because his name is on the list. You ain't hiding your guilt. That is definitely not. There has to be an island here to get this second vortex to happen. That's not natural. That I expect to see. So they're beaming. That's the Isle de Guadalupe. And the Guadalupe River, isn't that kind of interesting? How you doing, Hawaii? Smoking out much there, Kona? Have some Kona Gold going on there? I'm just doing a tour now. You can see the beam shape to this, can't you? Have you learned how to spot this shit? That you know when you got like maybe one of those SBX radar platforms floating about. When you see this move, the Wi-Fi signal. Where's the emanation point? Very often you see a back beam. Yeah, it's right about here. There's a big antenna doing that one. There's a brow beam here pushing that direction. And another one here pushing water that direction. That's going that way. That's going that way, and that's that way. So these waters are about to meet, and here these dynamics are about to change. There's a storm being made out there in the Pacific, and it'll turn that way when it goes. This is how you make a hurricane, actually. This is the first signs of a hurricane being made out here in the North Pacific. So I'll be watching this one very closely. That move right there tells me it all. That this area is about to form an area of interest, as they call it, or an invest area. For further investigation, you'll be seeing that. This is you yesterday. I think I showed that already. Have you today is over here. Australian skies have gotten fried. Would you want some fries with your skies? Yeah, it's all pointing, right? These cloud streets are all pointing at the next red station. You can't make this up. You got poisoned. You got owned. You fell silent when you needed to speak the most. You put a mask over your mouth when you needed to shout. And now the mask is off. You ready to shout? Shout. Tell them no more, no more. Are we the system's whore? No more, no more. Well, Mother Earth, you whore. And no more, no more will we tolerate even the thoughts and conversations of anybody that says we should send sunshine blocking it in any way back out into space. For every creature in this ocean, I say, if anybody who suggests that is a psychopath and cares not about animals, period. And if you don't agree with me, well, you don't care about animals is what I think, and you're a scumbag and you're a useless breather. Get the fuck off my planet, you fucking maskhole. Bye. I'm out. I'm full Tourette's now. Let's do a train wreck.